All right, so you know about the most valuable player, you know about the most improved player, but let's talk about the least improved player. Let's talk about the softest in the league. I brought Sean Yoo on to discuss today, and welcome to Mariah's Untitled Basketball Show. Let's get right into it. So, our first NBA award we want to give out is the MVP, but not the most valuable player, the most valuable post. Now, Sean, who are you thinking?
Ja Morant is up there for me. There was we did a thing on S Tiers Live with Zach where someone on Reddit found out that Ja Morant had more tweets than field goals made in the first round of the playoffs,
Oh, God.
and
That's a
he's been
horrible stat.
horrible stat, and he's been tweeting like crazy throughout the playoffs, which is rare for an NBA player because most NBA players, they go into LeBron zero dark 30 mode, they
Exactly.
turn off all their socials. But Ja was out here posting. I think the GOAT tier award will go to KD because he's
Of
always
course.
posting and he's always making kind of just waves in the world of social media. I have Instagram honorable mentions.
Okay.
LeBron James, a iconic Instagram poster, and
Yes, 100%.
now he's out of the playoffs. I think he's been really great. And then my rookie of the year is Scotty Barnes, who when he posts, it's just the most wholesome, cheesy kind of
Agreed.
big smile poster, which I really love.
Moving on, I'm so excited to hear your thoughts about this one, Sean. The Charmin Ultra Soft Player of the Year, the softest softy, like who's crying to the refs, who is the softest guy in the league, Sean?
I love that you had the brand sponsor already attached to this. It's just a perfect fit, and I think the NBA should really consider this as a legitimate award. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go with Grayson Allen, who also could be in the dirtiest player in the NBA category, but I just think
agreed.
some of his antics and complaints, everything about it just seems soft to me, and maybe that's
Yeah.
because I know he went to Duke and he gives off that kind of like classic Dukey
Yeah.
vibe. But
Everybody hates it.
I just anytime I see him, especially in the playoffs right now, he'll a call will go against him and he'll do the complain thing, and I'm like, you're not
Yeah,
good enough to do that. Like other players can do that and get away with it, like Chris Paul, but like you're Grayson Allen, like
agreed. I would like to nominate the entire Timberwolves team just because the way they react when they're happy is extra and the way
yep.
they react when they're upset is extra. Like you're crying to the refs, but you blew a 26-point lead. It's not their fault. It's not their
I
fault.
I love that you nominated the whole team because I think just a regular person would nominate Cat by himself, given the way
Yeah.
he complains and his trash talking in the middle of games. But the entirety of their team really is soft and complains a lot. Like
Yeah.
Pat Beverly should be a
Uh,
perennial Charmin softest
yeah.
in the league. D'Lo also does it a lot. I think Anthony
Yeah.
Edwards is the one player on the team who
Not a
doesn't do
soft
it
bone
as
in his
much.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
I
feel
like when
like
you nominate the whole team.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people would say Draymond Green, like
Right.
casuals, if you will, but he's not soft. If anything, I would say Draymond is the opposite.
Yes. He's
A little bit too
intense.
much.
He's
Yeah.
intense. And he complains because he knows he's in the right. Where
Exactly.
I think he's
Exactly.
able to like take a call in the chest. Like if he knows a call is made against him and he knows that's a foul, he'll be very cognizant. But I think he's very smart and his IQ is good. So when it's definitely not a foul, he'll complain in a way that's like
Exactly.
similar to Chris Paul. It's like I just know that you are wrong to the referees. Like
Like,
that
yeah,
kind of hate.
exactly. The least improved player. Now we mean this with all love. Neither of us play in the NBA. So we're
Yeah.
coming at it with a place of love. But we got to talk about the least improved player.
Mine is just objective. This is an objective fact
Yeah.
that Ben Simmons did not improve this year because he did not play this
Oh my
year.
god. I was not expecting that.
He did not
That
play. How can you improve? You didn't play.
great point. If anything, he somehow managed to get worse because
I
he
l
somehow managed to get injured while doing
Literally.
nothing.
Yeah.
So, hey, I was going to say as far as people who did play, um Julius Randle,
Ooh, good one. Really good one.
yeah, bro. It was
And that's not even you being mean. That is, again,
Yeah.
similar to the Ben Simmons one, an objective fact. His numbers got worse. You saw
Yeah.
every night that he would give up on plays, give up on his team. He
Yeah.
talked shit to the fan base, to everyone,
And they
and
talk shit right back.
right, exactly. And it's a classic case of get paid and kind of, I'm done. I'm good
Chill
here.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good here.
Mm-mm. All right. Moving on to a little off the court action. We're going to talk about the best dressed player in the league. I think that this is obvious. I think this is
I
obvious.
think we're both gonna say SGA. I think
Yeah.
it's his award until he has like 3 or 4 catastrophic fits back to back, which
Agreed.
I don't think will happen. So he might have this
Ever.
award locked up like yearly.
I could only imagine, when OKC finally goes back to the playoffs in like 2027 when Deuce and
Yeah.
and Cannon Curry are on the team because
Right.
of all their draft picks in the future. I can only imagine when they finally get back to the playoffs, his playoff fits. Because like Devin Booker goes crazy when it
I
comes to
know.
playoff time. I could only imagine. Now you know about defensive player of the year. Let's talk about the overly defensive player of the year. Sean, who do you think it is?
Overly defensive. We mentioned him earlier on this show.
Oh God.
Draymond Green is a perennial DPOY candidate, but he's also the most defensive player of the year. I think if you say something wrong to him or a ref does something wrong to him, he will hold that grudge all year long, and he will
Agreed.
make a point to say it on his podcast or when he's on TNT. He doesn't hold
Yeah.
anything back, and I think there's no one more defensive than him. I'm curious who you have.
As far as just like, I feel like I wouldn't want to be guarded by this person if I were in the NBA, not because like they're the very best at it, not
Yeah.
saying they're not great, but because I feel like they would 100% punch me in the face if I like stepped out on
Right.
line. Pat Bev,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. All NBA Black Air Force.
Uh-huh.
He don't give me that assignment, coach. I'm cool. You know what? I'm gonna take this guy. Y'all got it.
This award should actually be sponsored by Black Air Forces because that's the whole general vibe and tone of the people who win this award is like
Exactly.
they're just on the court to cause some trouble.
I feel like I really wish I were somebody's stylist for one day because I feel like if somebody showed up in like an all black fit, like imagine you're showing up to play the Warriors and Draymond Green has on an all black fit, no logos, nothing with Black Air Forces. Terrifying.
Yeah, I'm running.
Now we've got to talk about the Invisible Man Award.
Yeah, I
Now,
can explain this because I added this to
yeah,
the list. Is there's always one player on certain amazing teams that you forget that they're even on the team. You forget that they
yeah,
even existed.
this is so funny.
Um, it's players that you might see that on the roster. It's like I didn't know they played for that team, and
Oh,
it's interesting because we're in the playoffs and we're getting to the nitty gritty. And so two players I like to nominate. Elfrid Payton on the Suns. I
yeah,
had, I had no idea he was on the Suns. I don't even know if he plays. I saw it on the
not much.
roster and I was like, huh. I was like, okay. And then this one on the Bucks, Serge Ibaka. Like I follow
Oh, you
basketball.
didn't pick.
I watch pretty often. I forgot he got traded to the Bucks, and I feel like he's not really playing. He's not really
Yeah.
giving them minutes.
Well, he
And that
does
was a
have an awesome cooking show.
great cooking show, great YouTube channel. I assume that's why they signed him and traded him was for content and less on court
Yeah.
play.
The Bulls were on their like little run, where
Yep.
everybody was talking about
Yep.
the Bulls and like whatever. And I'm scrolling through Twitter one day and I'm seeing this awful video of Tristan Thompson just brick after brick after brick after brick in warm-ups. And I'm like, ha, like this is funny. Yeah. And then I'm like, is that a Bulls uniform?
Yep.
Like, I
Who
didn't even
knew?
notice. I didn't notice when he started playing for the Kings, and I didn't notice when he started playing for the Bulls either. I'm like, I will never notice.
Actually, Tristan Thompson should win this award because I think he should get that. He's the candidate for that over the last couple years because he's
Literally,
been moving around and somehow getting minutes. He played like
yeah,
pretty good minutes with the Bulls in the playoffs, and I was like,
yeah.
how? Why?
And it was before the playoffs. I'm like, when did you start playing there? Like, you still play for
Incredible.
Cleveland. What is going on? This one you also added
Yeah.
the Can't Sit With Us award.
This is the
Now I
can't
want to
sit-
read your description because this is so funny.
Okay, great.
A player you dislike so much you wouldn't want them to sit at your table.
I, the classic meme, you can't sit with us. And I figured,
Yeah.
the NBA celebrates people who do a lot of good in the community, and
Yeah.
a lot of there's like the Sportsman Award, and like Drew Holiday
Yeah.
wins it and stuff like that. I'm like, what's the opposite? Someone who
Can't
you
sit with
just
us.
don't want to be around, someone who's a bad hang, someone who you hear is coming to the party, you ask who all gonna be there,
Yeah.
and you hear this name and you're like, I don't think I'm gonna go. I'm actually
He's in
a
your
little tired
nightmare
tonight.
blunt rotation. He
Yes.
is just the worst. God, oh, who are you thinking so far?
This is tough. I had some names up in the air, but I think recently, especially, I just saw these comments where um this person called himself a living the life of a martyr, and that person is Kyrie Irving, who I look. This is nothing to say about Kyrie as a person. I think Kyrie's a very nice person, and I
Uh-huh.
just think he gets himself caught up in his YouTube deep dives and
Yeah.
religious kind of promotion that sometimes I think if he shows up to a party and I get into a corner into a conversation with him, he'll try to convert me or talk about how the world is flat and really, really like poke and prod at me. So, all love to Kyrie. I just don't know if I'd want to be around him at a
Kyrie would
venue.
come to the party and he would be like, what are these people doing? Can we talk about the social, economic, and political state of the world right now? Like, y'all are just
Exactly.
partying. Yeah, no. That's a great one. Kyrie is not invited to my party.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else. KD, he did tweet that he, goes on Twitter at the club. So I don't know
Yeah.
if
Not a good
he's
person to
exactly who I
invite.
want to.
Yeah.
You know who I would love to, who can sit at my table?
Okay.
James Harden. James Harden can definitely come to the
Wow.
party. Why?
Explain this.
Not because I like James Harden that much,
Yeah.
but because he loves to party. And I just want to
Yeah.
see what that's like. Like,
That's actually a good one. Is if you invite James, there's a guarantee that you'll have another famous person or two come with.
exactly.
He'll be like, "Little
Exactly.
baby, come through," or Travis Scott or whoever his friends are, come through.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one. I'm gonna throw Tristan Thompson back into the mix because
I was
I
gonna
don't
say
want
that
him.
too.
I don't want him to sit with us because I don't want Kardashians to come to my table. That's just me.
Exactly. Well,
I
the
just don't
thing
want
is,
that energy.
I am cool with the Kardashians coming to the table. What I'm not cool with is Tristan having a
Oh,
scandal
yeah.
while we're all trying to like
Yes.
enjoy dinner. And then I see photos of myself on Keeping Up with the Kardashians 2 weeks later in the background. Like,
Yeah.
look, Chloe, I had nothing to do with it. Like, just no.
Just
But
know I was here at the table. I didn't invite him.
exactly. One person that I wouldn't want to sit with, I will throw out there. God, we're really attacking some dudes whose
It's all
fans
love.
are
It's
gonna
all
are
love.
gonna get on us. But Russell Westbrook,
Oof.
look, first of all, I don't want you sitting on my table because depending on where we're eating at, I have no idea what you're going to show up in. And then
No
I'm going to be
clue.
embarrassed.
Yeah.
Second of all, I feel like he's can't take a joke guy, you know? Like, I feel like it's like, hey, Russell Westbrook, he tries to throw something in the trash can. And you're like, Russell Westbrook. And he's like,
I'm leaving.
I
I'm
am
leaving.
done.
Yeah. I
So, yeah.
here's why I will say I would want to maybe invite Russ is all the reasons you said are I agree with and I think would be difficult, but if he brings his wife and the kids around, I think his kids are really cute, and I would
Yeah.
if we got like Daddy Russ, who was very
Yeah.
wholesome and trying to just take care of the kids, I was like, I'd like to see that side of him.
Yeah.
Um,
I
I,
low key would hang out with a lot of the NBA kids. They
Me
seem
too.
cool as
Yeah,
fuck.
they seem
Deuce?
awesome. Yeah, bring Deuce around.
Yeah. I think we've got a pretty good slate of awards here. Do you have a favorite? Do you have like a one that sticks out to you?
I just think having branded sponsors, the Charmin softest in the league, is probably my favorite one. I think like overly defend. I think least improved should be a yearly NBA award. Like the NBA should actually do that
Literally. To keep
because
people
like
on their toes.
right, it gives them something to work towards if they get that award, and it gives them some fuel. I would love to see like a world where like a player who won least improved that following year wins most improved, or like wins a different
Yes.
award. Like, you know, I'd love to see the come up of that, but you know, I doubt the NBA would do that, or nor the players would agree to
Yeah,
that.
I don't think that I don't think that they're listening to us. But shout out to all the invisible NBA men out there.
Yeah, we
You're
see
putting the
you.
team on your back, and we see you. Thanks for watching our show. I'm so glad you guys got to see all of the crazy NBA awards. If you have any other awards that you would suggest, leave them in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.